In the stillness of night, the moon slipped in and out of the clouds, casting shadows over the graveyard, where trees swayed and branches whispered against each other. In the flicker of firelight sat the dervish, his staff glowing faintly as he twirled it in the flames. Before him stood Sultan Salamat, once a prince of arrogance and pride, now a ruler weighed down by age and regret. It felt as if a mirror had been placed before him, showing not his royal robes, but his truest self. Yet he pressed on and asked the dervish his third question. What is the greatest mystery of time? The dervish's lips curved into a deep smile. Time, he said, is man's greatest riddle. No king can buy it. No wealthy man can halt it. No scholar can fully unravel its secrets. Look at the sky. The moon hides and emerges again, but time never stops. Whether joy or sorrow, strength or weakness, all things change with time. Those who try to imprison time become its slaves, but those who understand it find life's greatest secret. The dervish fixed his gaze upon him. Yes, your final question. The hardest battle is not fought with swords, but within yourself. The wind rose suddenly, and the trees groaned against each other. An owl's cry echoed through the graveyard. The Sultan's heartbeat quickened. "To hear this answer," the dervish said with his eyes closed, "you must face the darkness of your past, Sultan Salamat. Otherwise, these words will remain only sounds, not truth." Fear gripped the Sultan. "What darkness do you speak of?" he whispered. The dervish's smile was faint but piercing. The wounds you gave to others, the cries that still echo in the walls of your palace. Until you stand before them, you will never know the greatest battle of life. Suddenly, from behind the graveyard, a shadow emerged. It was a farmer, dressed in torn clothes, his eyes red with exhaustion, his face weary. He stepped forward and, trembling, said, "Do you remember me, O king? This is the place where my children froze to death when your soldiers seized our land. My daughter, she was only 12. I buried her with my own hands after your hunting party destroyed our crops for your palace feast." The Sultan staggered back, eyes wide. Was this a dream or reality? The dervish fed wood into the fire. "This is both real and the mirror of your conscience. These are the figures of your past, reminding you that the true battle is not with others, but with your own desires and guilt." The farmer stepped closer, voice heavy with pain. "I buried my child myself. Tell me, Sultan, was your hunt worth her life?" The Sultan's throat closed. He wanted to speak, but no sound came. Sweat poured down his face, though the night air was cold. The dervish's voice rose like a verdict. "The greatest battle is against yourself, your arrogance, your greed, your cruelty. Until you conquer these, you will never taste peace." Tears welled in the Sultan's eyes. His voice cracked. "I have wronged many. Tell me, is there any redemption for me?" The dervish's gaze softened. "Redemption is not spoken. It is lived. Return the lands you stole. Aid those you crushed. Seek forgiveness not in words alone, but in deeds." The farmer extended a trembling hand. "If you are truly ready to change, take my hand." For the first time, the Sultan lowered his pride. He took the farmer's hand, his heart breaking open with guilt and humility. In that touch, the weight of years, the pride, the arrogance, the tyranny, shattered. He bowed his head and begged forgiveness. From that night, the Sultan's life changed. He restored lands, rebuilt fields, and cared for the poor. He stood beside the weak and the sick, turning his palace into a house of service rather than luxury. Slowly, the kingdom transformed, its people healed, and their cries turned into blessings. The dervish, watching from the shadows, smiled gently. Now you understand, Sultan. Time never stops, but when a man truly changes, time rewards him with peace. The hardest battle is not with others, but with the darkness within yourself. As dawn broke, the Sultan stood at the farmer's daughter's grave. The farmer whispered a prayer for her soul, and the Sultan placed his hand upon his shoulder. "Your loss is my wound," he said. "I will spend the rest of my days healing it." The dervish lifted his staff to the sky, the first light of sunrise touching his face. With a serene smile, he vanished into the horizon, leaving behind a ruler reborn, not through conquest, but through repentance. And thus the story ends with a promise. Time never stops. But when a man defeats his own ego and redeems his past, he wins life's hardest battle and finds true peace.